Hello ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, my name is JD Shadow. This is a special report, your news and views program about geek culture and video games on YouTube. Cut up in this show today, a mistranslation from Toei Europe's website makes people believe that Sailor Moon is going to be renewed for a third arc. ArenaNet announces a Guild Wars 2 Stronghold PvP open beta this Tuesday, and announcement that a Five Nights at Freddy's movie will be developed. My name is JD Shadow, and this special report will start right about now. Well, according to a Toei Animation Europe website, the new Sailor Moon Crystal series is going to be available in France on French cable TV channel Canal J. However, this particular article had so many people confused as to whether or not the series was actually going to be renewed in Japan for a third season, or quite frankly the Infinity Arc, and that's where we get the Hakura Michiru, the Outer Senshi, and Hotaru Sailor Saturn. However, it does seem as though this was badly translated. Let's take a look at what it says. It says, quote, "After the worldwide success of the original TV series during the 90s, Sailor Moon is now back with a brand new reboot of the series Sailor Moon Crystal. The French cable TV channel Canal J, aiming 8 to 14-year-old kids, acquired the TV right of Sailor Moon Crystal for season 26 by 26 and will start the broadcast in autumn 2015. A second season is currently under production in Japan, where the broadcast will start this summer." Now notice the last line as it pertains to the line before it, the first season, and then they say 26x26. That to us certainly made it seem as though it was saying that the first season, to them at least, consisted of the entire 26 original episodes that they were going to produce. And basically that led to a lot of confusion and a lot of misinterpreting by people believing that the Sailor Moon series is going to be renewed for a third season, because quite frankly Toei Animation has a way of confusing just about everybody imaginable. Fortunately, people soon realized that this was not the case. Well, unfortunately to people who want a third series and want a third season, and fortunately for those who were trying to get some control of the situation and tell people, hey, this is not an official confirmation that Toei Animation of Japan had yet to say anything about it. This is the second time that there has been a false alarm. A Portuguese website incorrectly stated that there were 52 episodes of the series and later had to scale back when they realized of the mistake they had made on their website. However, that too sparked some suspicion that there were some things going on at Toei Animation to suspect that there were more plans to continue the series. Okay, so let's first get to the mistranslation. Right away, just about everybody believed that this was going to be official confirmation of a third season. And let's be quite honest, if Toei Animation did not do the weird thing that they did with calling the Black Moon arc the second season, there would not be this particular confusion going around that there would be the second season means the episodes after the first 26 episodes. Why did Toei do this? Why did Toei decide that they were going to call this a second season? That's like the WWE calling the SmackDown or Raw in September the season premiere of SmackDown or the season premiere of Raw, when quite frankly they're going and broadcasting Raw and SmackDown all year long. There is no seasons in the WWE. There is nothing like that. So it is very confusing to us to have them say that to us, and then having Toei Animation call this particular Black Moon arc the second season when there was no break in between the first season and the quote-unquote second season. Really kind of confusing to say the very least. And then we get this saying, oh, the second season is under production, and then 26 episodes is the first season. I don't think even Toei Animation has any idea what the hell they really mean by first season and second season. I don't think they even know inside their own headquarters, because the Toei Animation Europe say something like this, to say the first season is the entire 26 episodes and then the second season is something completely different. I don't know, it just seems as though they don't even know what's going on. And if this is just a badly translated article, then hello, France, you're in your own country. You probably should know how to translate French to English. Probably should know how to do that. It's a secondary language in that country. You probably should have a clear understanding of the language. I might be a little ignorant in that sort of thing. Maybe there's something I don't know about to where French-speaking people and English-speaking people in the UK might not be as well-versed in the opposite language, but still, you are a publicly traded, you are a big company. You probably should have someone who is better able to translate this type of article. So there is that. Obviously, there is no confirmation from Toei Animation Japan to tell us one way or the other. But let's play devil's advocate for just a moment. Let's say for a moment this was not badly translated or badly worded, that there is something there. Let's poke the bear, as it were, because I like to do that. I like to really poke bears. Let's poke a bear with a big stick for just a second. Let's just say for a second that this is 100% accurate, that there is something going on in Toei Animation Studios to suggest that there could be a third season. We're going to call it the third season, the Infinity Arc. This is the second time that we've seen this happen. This is the second time that we've seen that somebody has either mistranslated an article, misworded, or was mistaken about the number of episodes and then had to scale back on whatever they were talking about. In the case of the Toei Animation Europe, they didn't even have to say anything. Someone else said that, hey, this was just a badly worded article. Toei Animation has not cleared anything up to that regard, one way or the other. With the Portuguese website, they had to ninja edit. They had to stealth edit that. I have yet to see whether or not they went and told people that they had to re-edit that particular article in order to reflect the correct amount of episodes that they were said to have received. So the poking in the bear is, could there be something to this story? Could there be something that they are not supposed to be revealing yet? Could there be something that they slipped of the tongue about? Remember that I said before that there were game companies that have sometimes let something slip of the tongue and they had to scale back saying, hey, we're not ready to reveal that yet, or had accidentally broken NDA or an embargo. There have been times when that has happened, so it's not out of the realm of possibility for something like this to occur, especially in the television and movie industry. Is it probable though? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt that, at least in the Toei Animation Europe case, that it was something such as that. Now, in the case of the Portuguese website, I do still believe there might be something to that. I still believe that somebody slipped there. I do still believe that at some point we will hear an official confirmation of this particular aspect, that we will get the rest of the acts of Naruko Takeuchi's masterpiece. I do believe that we are going to hear it at some point in time, just not quite yet. I don't believe this is a confirmation of any stretch of imagination on Toei Animation Europe's part. Why would Toei Animation Europe be the ones that reveal something like that in the first place? That would have to be Toei Animation Japan. They would have to be the responsible people in order to do that. Now, I did want to cover this on Friday, but unfortunately, some people were saying to hold up on actually reporting on this because there might be a cause of mistranslation. But a lot of people were saying stuff about it. There were a lot of people who were believing it. So it's a lose-lose situation no matter what you do. But now that we have this mistranslation being official and we are able to report on the mistranslation, I have no problem in actually saying something about it. But as far as the Portuguese website is concerned, I am still holding to that belief that somebody slipped up. Somebody had to have said something, because I've yet to see that somebody made a mistake and somebody admitted to that mistake. I have a feeling somebody said something they probably shouldn't have said on that site. Will we get the Infinity Arc? It is hard to say. Judging from how good the Black Moon Arc is right at the moment, I do believe we are going to get that, and I do hope we do. We deserve it. Definitely deserve it. Please stay tuned. I will be continuing to report on this story. Well, this is going to be a lot more official than the last story is, because it is on the official website. ArenaNet is going to be holding a Stronghold PvP public beta this April 14th. That is this Tuesday. That is the day after my birthday, by the way, April 13th. So, yeah, very late birthday present, but a birthday present nonetheless from ArenaNet in that regard. according to their official website, saying, quote, "If you can't wait for Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns to get your hands on the new Stronghold PvP game mode, be sure to join us on Tuesday, April 14th for a PvP public beta. The map will be available live within Guild Wars 2 for 24 hours, so you'll have plenty of time to storm the enemy gates and defend your own. To get started in Stronghold, you'll need to head to Heart of the Mist, which can be accessed through the main portal in Lion's Arch or through the PvP panel icon located at the top of your screen." They later go on to say that to celebrate this huge moment for Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns, we will also be streaming live for 23 hours non-stop from 1 p.m. Pacific time on Tuesday to noon Pacific time on Wednesday. The stream will feature some of your favorite Guild Wars 2 live streamers and shoutcasters, as well as appearances by ArenaNet developers. And of course, one of those streamers and shoutcasters is none other than friend of the channel, Aura Peachy. She will be streaming with Donna Berry during that particular event. And be advised that I will also be recording my experiences. I'm going to be trying this whole thing myself when it goes live on Tuesday. Be sure to check on this channel. There's going to be a ton of video that I'm going to try to get recorded for this particular event. Okay, so with all that having been said, what else news could there be for this particular piece of news about the Stronghold PvP public beta? Well, we've been having a good bit of public betas that were coming out from ArenaNet in recent weeks. We had that sort of invitation-only beta. Now we have the Stronghold PvP public beta. It doesn't seem as though they're giving some hints as to them possibly being ready to go with a closed beta for Heart of Thorns. I had said that we should let them take their time with Heart of Thorns and make sure that everything's correct. We don't need another Assassin's Creed Unity. We don't need Warlords or Draenor incident going on. But now I'm starting to think that perhaps they are closer and closer to being ready to release a closed beta of the game. This is great news. This is saying that they are ready to do what is called a stress test, where they see how many they can handle on a particular amount of servers before the servers could probably crash. And also, the public beta basically means is that you are going in for actual feedback. You are going in to give them feedback and to tell them what might be wrong, what might be changing, and whatever else you might feel free to discuss with them. Unlike when the game goes live, they're wanting you to give feedback. They're wanting you to try to break the game basically in order for you to say, hey, this might be wrong, you might want to change it, what could be glitchy, what could be buggy. This might be telling me that they could be closing in on maybe a announcement of a release date for Heart of Thorns. Is this what they're going to be planning maybe this summer? Is this what they're going to be revealing very soon? I have a feeling we'll hear some information about the closed beta extremely soon. If you do not know how to get in the closed beta, if you do not know how to get registered for the closed beta, what you have to do is sign up for the Guild Wars 2 newsletter on their official website. Be sure you do that. That way you have a chance to get into the closed beta. And plus, if I get into closed beta, you're gonna no doubt see a lot of videos about that on the channel. Hopefully there is no NDA or embargo to be had there, because that would be an awesome way to give feedback and to give some information as to what could be wrong with the expansion in order to have them fix it before the game goes live, and to give you a little bit of a sneak peek at everything you can come to expect from the GWHOT expansion. Please go and support all those streamers that are going to possibly be fighting against the ArenaNet developers in the Stronghold PvP. Hopefully they get stabbed in the face by the streamers and the shoutcasters, because yeah, we know how to play this game, baby. And yes, go support Aura Peachy. She's a friend of this channel. Please go follow her and Donna Berry on Twitch. The links to their Twitch streams will be in the description below this video. Please go follow them if you have not done so already. They are terrific streamers, and they do a great job for not only the Guild Wars 2 community, but for the gaming community as a whole. Please go do support them. And finally, it seems as though Five Nights at Freddy's is going to be made into a full live-action movie. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the feature adaptation will be produced by Roy Lee of Vertigo Entertainment, as well as Seth Grahame-Smith and David Katzenberg of Catsmith Productions. The game takes place in Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, a darker version of Chuck E. Cheese's, where an animatronic animal band performs kiddie songs by day and goes on murderous rampages by night. The goal of the game is to survive a night locked inside, knowing that a furry death machine might jump out of the dark at any moment. Grahame-Smith does say that, quote, "We are looking forward to working with Scott to make an insane, terrifying, and weirdly adorable movie." And Cawthorn adds that the story really lends itself to being a movie, and it taps into a largely unexplored niche of horror that a lot of people will be able to relate to. The project is currently out to writers, and Adam Stone and Jay Ireland will exec produce. John Berg and Nick McInverd are overseeing for Warner's. The Hollow Reporter then goes on to say that Lee was a producer on Warner's Liam Neeson action thriller Run All Night and has the Poltergeist remake due to open May 22nd. Grahame-Smith and Katzenberg, meanwhile, are developing a Beetlejuice sequel, and the trio producing Kei Fukunaga's adaptation of the seminal Stephen King novel It, which is eyeing a summer shooting start. Well, this is another one of those cases where we are either anxiously awaiting them to actually get a video game movie right, or they are going to flub it up like a lot of people do with video game movies. I have only seen maybe Resident Evil and maybe Silent Hill nail it as far as video game adaptations into movies are concerned. However, it does seem as though this is the perfect type of game in order to make it into a movie. First of all, the whole idea of the lore behind the series of games and of themselves. Take a look at the game theorists. Take a look at some of the theory crafting that goes on about the lore of these games and how they come to believe them. I gotta believe there's clearly some sort of there when they talk about the Purple Man and how everything began and what the Marionette is all about and how the animatronics do come alive and how the Purple Man killed a kid and that's how everything got started. There is a lot of story to be had with this particular title, and there is a lot of horror that you can have there. Given the fact that animatronics and the freaky way that they make them, the freaky way that Scott Cawthorn has made these things into freakish, nature-ish things, disguised as cutesy little things, and they're the stuff that nightmares are made of. They're nightmare fuel, basically. I think that you could have a movie here if it's done right. Don't just put it out there. Don't just try to cash in on something like this. Make sure that it's something that people will want to see. There is a lot of lore that you can use here. There's a lot of story here. There's a lot of unexplored story that the games do not cover yet that many people have discovered about perhaps the first Fazbear's Pizzeria that got closed down before the events of the second game. There's a lot of different things that the games have not covered yet that you can cover with a movie. There's a lot of different aspects. Probably the first Freddy Fazbear Pizzeria, when the kid does get murdered, you could show clips of stuff like that. Don't cash in. Don't try to phone it in. Actually work on this whole thing. Work on the movie and don't just put it out there for a quick cash in. Because you know that this entire series is well liked. It is probably one of the most recognizable indie titles out there as far as the horror genre is concerned. So yes, there's going to be a lot of people that will be interested, and there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be curious about what this is all about. People who might not be into horror games, people who might not be into jump scare types of games. They might be into the movie. They might actually want to be scared when they go into a theater or something along those lines. They will be curious in order to find out what the story is all about, and in the long run, this might be very good for Scott. This might be very good to get his series really out there in order to make it like a AAA title. But then again, there's another aspect to be had here in which you realize that this is Warner Brothers who went to Scott Cawthorn and licensed this franchise to be made into a movie. They went to a indie developer, a developer who is not licensed to a AAA company. This is showing just how far indie development has come to where a major company like Warner Brothers is going to Scott Cawthon because they recognize the amount of work he has done for the games. They've recognized the popularity of these games, and they have gone to him and said, "Do you mind if we try to make a movie? We work with you in order to make a movie." And obviously he said yes, because here we are. Do you realize just what this means to the indie game scene? If it's done right, it's going to be a major get for indie development. If done right, this will be a major coup for that indie development scene. So let's hope that they get this thing done right. Let's hope they cast the right people. Let's hope they give these people actual names that actually make sense. Don't show that in either. Make sure you pick the right actors. Make sure you pick the right directors and the right crew in order to make sure that this is done right, because this is a big step in the right direction. But this is also going to be a big risk, because if it is not done right, if it is phoned in, then a lot of people are going to think twice about developing something for the indie scene, and they're going to think twice about buying something for the indie scene. They're just going to write it off as just some sort of fad, and it'll be damaged. I think the indie development scene will be damaged if this movie doesn't come to fruition in a way that makes sense, and it gets many people to want to be curious at the very least. I certainly will go and see it because I do enjoy the games, and the games have given me a lot of followers on Twitch. A lot of people were watching me try to get through the 6th night, which I took about 3 hours in order to do that in one stream. A lot of people have followed me on the basis that I was playing that game, and Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is probably the best game of the series. I have not tried Five Nights at Freddy's 1 yet, and Five Nights at Freddy's 3 has been one of those games in which I'm still kind of on the fence about whether or not it is any better than FNAF 2. But FNAF 2 is a tremendous game, because by the 3rd night, you're not worried about whether or not a particular animatronic is going to come and jump scare you. You're not scared of them anymore. You're more scared of the frustration. You're more scared of the challenge that you're going to have in those games. The initial jump scares are going to wear off because you're going to be expecting that you're going to get hit. You're going to get jumped. You're going to get scared. And you're gonna probably scream out of frustration because it is a challenging game. I can see the appeal of the game. It is a very fun game to play. It's a very fun game in order to go and maneuver around the room, trying to make sure that Bonnie doesn't get you, but you have to watch out for Foxy, and you have to watch out, make sure the flashlight is not out of power while you check on the music box, make sure the marionette doesn't get out. There's a lot of different mechanics that make the game very fun, very challenging, but not unfair. And that's what makes the games fun. It is not necessarily the jump scares or people screaming into a microphone on YouTube. It's about the challenge level. It's about the way that you have to manage every single mechanic and make sure that nothing's going to be out to get you, and you don't forget as to what animatronic is shielded off by what. It is one of those types of games where you have to think on your feet, and I like those types of games. I really love games that make you have to really think about what you're going to be doing in that particular game, in any particular time. It is a very fast-paced game. It doesn't seem like that at first, but it's going to really make you want to pull your hair out in frustration sometimes, but it's never going to be the game's fault. It's never cheap in any sort of way, as long as you know what mechanics you have to use at a particular time and when you have to actually use them. So you can see where the popularity is coming from, and this movie is just going to give it a big boost if it is done right. So please, Warner Brothers, please, Roy Lee, please, whoever else is going to be working at this, please make sure that you treat this particular franchise with respect. Because if you do not, it's going to really drown out the indie development scene, I do believe. I may be a little extreme there, but I think this is a big chance for the indie development scene to really have a chance to be noticed. This is a major movie studio, so hopefully they do this right and they don't screw this up. Okay, so that's going to do it for this edition of the special report. Thank you very much for watching. Before I go, please be advised that we are at near 500 subscribers. Thank you very much for that. When we hit 500 subscribers, I will be doing a few things special for the channel. Please be advised that this also means I'm going to be getting a custom URL, and that basically means that it's going to change. I will be informing you of that change if and when that actually happens. So please be advised, if you are a subscriber to this channel and you have bookmarked the channel URL, it might change, it might not. I'm not sure how it will actually work when we hit that particular number. But again, thank you so very much in advance for all the support and the kind words you've given me in order to make sure that I stay sane and I stay working and I stay positive about the channel. There was a lot of positive things that the channel has been doing over the past month or so. Thank you so very much for the growth that it has gotten just within the past month or so. I do appreciate the kind gestures and the kind words that you guys have all been giving me during these past few months. And again, thank you so very much for watching this edition of the Special Report. My name is JD Shadow, and that just happened.